Welcome to Cooking with Andrea. Today we're going to be making chicken Alfredo fettuccine. I'm so excited. I have my chicken right here. It's marinated already. It's been marinating for about an hour. You don't have to pre-marinate it. You could just go like that. But I do pre-marinate mine for about an hour to two. Sometimes I do it all day. I get up in the morning and get ready to go. And I marinate it then, keep it in the refrigerator all day, and it's good to go when I get home. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I marinated it. I took my chicken breast. I have 3 there. And I'm just going to go ahead and put my olive oil on here. And then what I'm going to do is pick it up, move it around. I'm going to go ahead, get it all drenched in my olive oil. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cap, but I can't touch my cap because I'm all chickened. So I'm going to take a paper towel, just so you can see. And what I'm going to do is open my top. My go-to, lemon pepper. I'm so excited. I love lemon pepper. I think it adds just such a freshness to the dish. So I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle like that. Then I have my beer can chicken. My beer can chicken is a good one for any kind of chicken you're going to use it for. It gives it such a nice flavor. And basically, I just go like that, and then I take my parsley, and I put some parsley on it. It's hard when you have chicken hands. You can only use one hand. Now I got to go back to this hand, so I don't mess anything up. It was sitting in the olive oil. Here we go again. I only parsley one side of it. I don't want to overdo it because I use parsley in my actual sauce. So I just put a nice shake of beer can chicken and a nice shake of lemon pepper. That's all I really season it with because it's such a good season. And then I just let it sit there like that, and that's where I would go ahead and put it in my plastic bag and let it just sit in my refrigerator until I needed to cook it. Okay, so what we're going to do is I have the grill heating. It's been heating for about 10 minutes. It's going to be about 500 degrees. Me and you, we're going to go ahead and go out to the grill, put the chicken in. We're going to probably cook it about 4.5 minutes on each side. You kind of know when it's done, so you'll be able to tell. Always actually better to have done chicken than not done. But let me tell you a secret. If it was not done all the way in the middle, you're actually going to drop it into a pan. You could drop it into a pan here and it would be fine. The heat would also warm it. So if it was just a little bit under, as long as there's no blood and it's not raw in the middle, you're fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash my hands, and then we're going to go out to the grill. So I'll meet you there. Okay, we're here at my grill. I'm going to go ahead and just sop up some olive oil so I can get a good sizzle on my chicken. Here we go. And it's about 550. I just turned the grill down. I want it down just a little bit. So we're going to let this grill. I'm going to close it, and we're going to cook it for 4 or 5 minutes on this side, and then I'm going to flip it. I want to get some good grill marks on this side, so usually I cheat and I cook it about 5 minutes on this side. Then I flip it over for about 4 minutes, and it's usually all nice and done. So we'll be back. Chicken's ready. We've had it on the grill for about 9.5 minutes, so it's all nice and ready. I'm going to pull it off. Look at the marks. Oh, it's beautiful. So we're going to go ahead and pull off the chicken, shut our grill down, and we are going to go inside. Okay, we'll be back. Welcome back. Chicken is done. It's sitting here. It's resting. Now we're going to make our beautiful Alfredo sauce. We're going to go start with 3 tablespoons of butter. And we are going to just mix it around our pan. I want to make sure my pan's not too hot, so I'm going to put my garlic in. And I have about 3.5 cloves of garlic here. One was kind of small, so I just threw it in there. I usually use straight up 3. I always count everything. I'm just going to let the garlic and the butter cook. It's going to bloom. It's going to be beautiful. And then after that, I'm going to let this garlic just bloom. Then I'm going to throw some heavy cream, 3 cups of heavy cream in. And then we're going to get started with our spices. We're going to be using a pinch of nutmeg, a tablespoon of parsley, a teaspoon of black pepper, and a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. I zested the whole lemon. I call them naked lemons running around. I zested it. It came out like this. And it's just really nice. Oh, it smells so fragrant. We'll put it in there. This is a really easy dinner to do. You don't have to cook your chicken on the grill either. You can cook your chicken in the house as well. Man, my garlic is just blooming beautifully. It's looking great, smells great, so fragrant. Usually I use fresh pasta. Today I used the box because there was no fresh pasta and I didn't make any fresh pasta. So I had to go ahead and use this box, which is fine. But it took 22 minutes for that to cook, in my opinion. I'm used to using fresh pasta so it doesn't take as long. Oh, my garlic smells great. It looks great. We're going to go ahead and pour our heavy cream in. Oh my goodness. Smells great with the garlic. So I'm just going to go ahead and let this heat. I'm going to go ahead and, first of all, I want to put my lemon zest in. It's going to smell so great. I want it just make my dish nice and fragrant. I'm going to go ahead and put my parsley in. A lot of people put the parsley in after. I don't. I cook it all in there. I want to see the green. I really like the green. And it brightens my fettuccine, makes it nice and flavorful, especially the lemon zest. And the Italian seasoning is always great. Give yourself, because sometimes I feel that the fettuccine Alfredo is not very flavorful, you know. Like a lot of restaurants, I don't really care for it because I don't feel that it's nice and creamy like it's supposed to be. That I do love. But I think that there should be a little bit of seasoning in it. Okay, and a pinch. Nutmeg's one of those things that you don't want to add too much to, but you do want to give it a nice little pinch. And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. But nutmeg just adds this earthy like spice to it. But you're not supposed to use a whole lot of nutmeg. But I do a nice little pinch. I like it. I think it gives it a different flavor. I think my fettuccine, I use it in my lasagna too. I think it just gives it this warm, earthy tone. And like I said, I don't even know if I use enough to make it relevant, but I can smell it. Yeah, I feel when you can smell something, I think it's a good thing. I think it makes it relevant. If you can't smell it, sometimes I think, maybe don't use it. What do you really need it for? But I can smell it. It smells delicious. Wanted to let you know I grated a cup and a half of Parmesan. Use whatever you really like. Sometimes I have very nice, when I'm on vacations and stuff, me and my husband, our presents when we're on vacation and things like that are sausages, steaks, food, cheeses, fruits that we can't find here where we live. But this is a very good cheese. So I suggest use that. You can put a little bit more on after you're done. I think I have enough cheese where I'll just let my husband decide if he wants more, and I'll bring him some. But, you know, that's kind of how I always do it. But I go from there. And then I'm also going to add my pepper, because I want my pepper to incorporate into my, and I only used half my pepper right now. I want to put half here, and then that's what I want to reserve for my top, is my pepper, because we are big pepper freaks in our house. So we really love pepper. Okay. So So everything is in. I'm going to put my cheese in the fridge so it doesn't sit out any longer. And I'll clean up my dishes here. And we're almost ready. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to cut up my meat and slice it. I really love when the chicken is like this because I feel that it has that grill mark and it has the drippings from the grill, and I just think it makes it delicious. I just cut it really thin because I don't want it to be too big. Look at it, it's done perfectly inside. And then what I'm going to do is end up throwing it in and tossing it with my chicken, and then I usually leave a few pieces and I just drizzle them on top of everybody else's plate. But I always cut my chicken thin because in case you get a tough piece of chicken, and I just tried it right now, if you cut it this thin, it won't be dry. Another thing you can do too is take it and just cut it in half so you don't have such long pieces. My husband likes when he has pieces this side versus the whole big chunk. He prefers it this way so everything fits on his fork perfectly. So, okay, our cream is coming up. Here we go. We're going to start mixing our cheese in. And we're going to get it all in there. I'm just going to leave that a little bit. And we are going to put it in, and we are going to mix. And then what we're going to do is add our pasta. Oh my gosh, this is going to be delicious. I'm going to take my fettuccine off. You know what? My pasta is hot. I did not rinse my pasta because I want to keep the starch on my pasta. This is what's going to help thicken my sauce. And it's going to just make it really luscious and kind of silky from the starch I have on my pasta. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in here and I'm going to mix. Oh my gosh, this looks fantastic. Okay, I'm going to add some more pasta. I like to add my pasta a little bit at a time. I do want my fettuccine more creamy than I do dry. I'm not really a big fan of dry pasta. I like soaked. I like it that way. So here we go. And boy, this is going to be delicious. Really easy meal. The longest thing it took me today, honestly, was to cook the pasta. Normally when I use fresh pasta, it takes half the time. I think I wrote down on my pad for this pasta. And normally what I do is if I use different pastas, because you know you can't always make fresh yourself. You can't always make fresh. You can't always buy fresh. So I always write down the name and how long it took me to cook it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in this chicken here. So I want it to warm because I wanted it to totally cool. I also have some pan drippings. Guess what? Pan drippings go into the sauce too. We're going to get every delicious morsel we can. Okay, I'm going to pull my sauce off. And then what I'm going to do is continue to cut my chicken. And then we're going to go ahead and put some more pepper on it. And then we will also put a squeeze of lemon on, and we'll be ready to serve. And it's going to be delicious. Pretty inexpensive dish too. You have your pasta, you have your chicken, and I use a actual frozen chicken. It's from my local market. It's actually a little bit cheaper than some of the other ones I buy, but I don't buy my meats because of cheap or not. I usually will buy what is good or not, and because if you can buy cheap chicken or expensive chicken, but it's not tender, or you get a lot of pieces that are tough, not worth buying in my opinion. Spend the extra $1. Okay, so I'm just going to take it and go like that. So we've got some pieces. This is beautiful. This looks good. And this is what it should look like. I'm going to put this chicken to the side so that you could see. You'll be able to see. Look, there's plenty of sauce. It is thick enough. And remember, in a few minutes it'll thicken up more. If for some reason it wasn't thick enough for your preference, I'll tell you, add a half a cup of ricotta. It will make it tougher, or add some more cheese. But, you know, you want to go ahead and put this in a nice bowl. In my opinion, it's thick enough. And after you let it sit for a minute, it'll be fantastic. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the rest of my pepper, and I'm just going to put it in there and get it all mixed up. I usually do not do my pepper that way. I usually shake from my pepper shaker, because me and my family, we love pepper. One other thing I'm going to do. See the lemon? I take the lemon and I just squeeze just a little bit. All it will do is add some brightness to your dish. And then mix again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plate it so you can see it, and then we're going to take a bite. Okay. Let me get my fork. And we are going to take a bite. Oh, lots of nice, delicious liquid. Mmm. Okay. We need a little bit of salt. This is perfect. All we need is a little bit of salt. And this is a nice easy dish that you just made from scratch. So, if you like the content, if you would please like and subscribe, I would be very grateful, and I hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed making it. Thank you, and have a good day.